Thank you for coming along to our first webinar in our Digital Boost business series. This webinar is going to be recorded for any future reference, and we will be uploading it onto our website and for any participants that weren't able to attend today. I'd like to thank everybody for coming today, and also our special guest speaker, Danny, who will be taking the floor shortly. Before I pass over to Danny, I'd just like to make you aware of the opportunities that Uttlesford do have available for our businesses. So this is our business support team. There's myself, Sarah and Rachel. We're here on hand to provide business support and advice. We also signpost for any sort of financial advice, and also to make you aware of any grants that are available. As well as this webinar, we also have some additional ones this week and one next week. So on the 7th, we have how to use video to get found on Google. On the 9th, we have will you pass the LinkedIn MOT. On Friday the 10th, we have how to prepare your business against cybercrime. And then next week on the 15th, we have cool digital tools to help promote your business. We do still have availability for these, so if you're interested, then please go onto our website and sign up. We also have a Digital Boost for Business grant. So it's a minimum of £250 up to a maximum of 2,500 match funded. And that's to help our businesses who want to develop and improve their digital assets. Some of the items that you can apply for are new business websites or an upgrade to an existing website, online booking systems, e-commerce platform, creation of mobile apps, digital skills training courses, and cybersecurity training. There are also many more items that you can apply for, and if you go onto our website, it's all on there for you. We have additional grants as well. So we have our business startup grant. So this is £2,500. This is for any businesses that are 2 years or younger. We have our High Street Premises Enhancement Fund. So this is £5,000 match funded, and that's to enhance the front of your premises. We have our Rural England Prosperity Fund, and we also have our Low Carbon Workplace Grant. On our website, we have a free to download startup guide. So this has all the information in there for your everyday sort of start to finish of how to run your business, and useful information. We've also updated our directory. So this directory, it's free for our businesses to sign up for. It's resident facing, so our residents can find your business, and also it's very good for our business if they want to collaborate with each other. So we would strongly advise, if you haven't already signed up, to please go onto our website and sign up to get your business on our directory. And we also have our free e-newsletter. So this is sent out fortnightly, and it provides you with all the information, the latest advice and opportunities that we have available to yourselves. So I would again advise, if you haven't signed up for this, then please sign up to get our latest information. Without any further delays, I'd like to hand the floor over to our guest speaker, Danny. So Danny, if you wouldn't mind, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for the invite. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on where we are. I'm just going to share my screen now for us. Firstly, I want to thank Andrew and Rachel for inviting me to come along and talk to you all today. We've done things like these in the past with the guys, and it's always been useful. So hopefully in this chat, you find it worthwhile. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Danny Hall. I'm the owner of a digital marketing agency here in Chelmsford called FSC Digital. We've been established since 2011. I started out as a bit of a one-man band. And yeah, I've got a team of 13 in-house and a total team of 30. But we specialise in helping SMEs develop or obtain good digital marketing services for, good value. Like I say, been around for quite a long while. Probably may know a few of you, may have seen a few around. I haven't had a chance to check the guest list, but it's yeah, really pleased to be here today. Really pleased to be talking to you all. So without any further ado, I'll start to get into it. Just so that we know, there'll be a bit of an opportunity for a Q&A session at the end, if anyone has any. Also, because we are using Teams, it's more than possible to drop a question in the chat or two as we go, and I'll say hello, or I'll read them out at the end and answer them where we can. And if not, we can go from there. So First and foremost, I suppose you're going to notice from the first slide, it was sort of the secrets of SEO, and I was going to bore you to death for about half an hour talking about SEO. But if I'm honest with you, SEO is so all-encompassing now and quite technical, and there's loads of different things you can actually do to naturally improve your SEO without, the smoke and mirrors, so to speak, that comes with the industry. So what I thought was we could talk about increasing your digital footprint completely for free, because as business owners, we all want to get as much exposure as possible. And there's so much we can do online completely for free that will actually benefit our SEO. And I thought as a chat today, and as something that's probably a little bit punchy, a little bit more on point, and hopefully keep you remotely interested, this would be a better area for us to talk to. So we'll go through how you can increase your digital footprint and how in turn that will benefit your SEO and hope you generate more inquiries and get more exposure for your brand or company. So moving on, again, I've already done a quick intro, but I'll just go for this yet. As I said, started in 2011 as a company, or as a trading name of Freelance SEO Essex. Local agency was set up to help start-up and small companies with their search engine optimization. Since then, we've grown our expertise to support small and medium-sized businesses across London and the South East, with both paid and organic search, social media, web design and build. And just while we're talking about web design and build, as Andrew mentioned, they've got some great grants at Uttlesford District Council, and these are all things we can help with. So again, if it's either Andrew or myself, or that you're interested in finding out a bit more information about those grants, do let us know, because it's amazing how much support there is out there now for small businesses or business owners like ourselves. So yeah, so moving quickly on, one thing that we always say is, or our kind of company ethos is, digital marketing can be an area that's difficult to understand. We like to help our clients cut through the noise with a transparent and consultative approach. So ultimately what we're saying is we're always happy to talk. Even after this chat, if you've got any specific questions relevant to your business, your website, that you think fall into our category, by all means get in touch, and I'd love to help in any way I can. Okay, so bear with me 1 second. We're now going to talk to you about how you can significantly increase your brand's exposure and online digital footprint for free, with a little bit of SEO thrown in at the end. So basically what I was going to say is, here we've got a list of all the different areas which, when addressed, and we'll send you these slides afterwards, but I think we can do that, Andrew, can't we? We can forward these slides on to everyone. But yeah, here you have a list of all the different properties online that you can utilize to help generate business, but also increase your websites or your business's footprint. And what we're going to do is I'm going to work through some of these. I'm not necessarily going to go through them in the same order as they appear here. I'm going to save the search engines to last, because this is when we'll get into the SEO side of it. But we're starting on the left here with maps listings. A lot of companies, I imagine everyone on here would like to think, has a maps listing or has their business listed on Google Maps. However, it's really underutilized. A lot of us go on and just put our opening times on there, and our business address, and maybe a little information about what we do. Google Maps is very, very powerful now. It gives, and Bing, to be honest, it gives you the opportunity to basically list everything about your business, from you can put images in there, you can put your latest blog posts, you can put up there your opening times. I'd also say individually list the services or products that you provide, because what this does, the more populated your maps listings are, and what I would suggest is, even after this, if you've got one, go back and spend 5-10 minutes just going through it, because it gives you the fields of the information that they want. And what I would say is populate these maps listings as best as possible, because then if someone searches for your products or your services within your radius, there's a strong possibility that you will start to appear in those maps listings, and therefore generate that natural local traffic. And as business owners, we probably all agree that we like working with local clients. Yeah, it's a lot easier. It's a lot more trust, because people know where you are, and there's half a chance they've also seen your company previously. So maps listings, yeah, a bit of advice there. If you've got Bing is one that a lot of people don't have, because we've always focused on Google, and we'll touch on Bing and Google a bit further on in the chat. But by all means, if you're not on Bing, go back and get yourself listed. If you are on Google, go and revisit and just make sure you're utilising everything that it offers you. Next one I want to talk about just briefly, and we're going to skip the online directories quickly. I'm just going to go into social media. Pretty obvious one. We all know how big social media is now, and there is no direct correlation between social media and your search engine optimization or the performance of it. However, if you have got a real good presence on social media and your posts and your, the stuff that you're interacting and putting out there on social media is driving traffic back to your website, if that traffic's engaged, that will ultimately boost your SEO. So while they'll say, look, posting on Facebook or Instagram does not boost your SEO, their traffic will. So this is why I always think it's important to look at your social media. Think about your audience when you go into social media. So are you a B2B business? Are you B2C? For example, obviously, if you're B2C, you'd start to look at things like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and maybe a bit of Twitter. If you're obviously more B2B, naturally you're going to go towards LinkedIn, but then there is also good work on there for Instagram and Facebook, depending on the type of business you're in. And then I'd take it a level deeper. I would just think about what is, what's your industry about? Is it very content driven or is it very visual? Naturally, if it's a very visual industry, like we work with a lot of wedding photographers and estate agents. So one of the things that do really well for those guys is Pinterest and Instagram and good images of their properties and, interior designs and that type of work. When you're getting into the B2B side of it, again, LinkedIn, those kind of platforms work really well. Snapchat's a bit niche. It's a new arrival. Well, it's still been around a while, but, from a business perspective, it's just starting to gain momentum. But again, have a think about your target audience. What platforms are they likely to be using? Is it going to be Facebook, which is considered the Silver Surfer network now for people like myself? Or are we looking to attract those or talk to that younger generation who are likely to be on TikTok and Instagram and things on Snapchat? So again, understanding your audience, where they're likely to be, and also then just think about what do they really want to read, or what do they want to know, what they're interested in. And then once you start to understand that and plan your social media strategy around it, you will drive more traffic to your website. And that will ultimately improve your website's SEO and organic rankings, because Google will think this is good content that it needs to share. Okay. And then moving on just quickly through that, we're going into the review sites. Pretty obvious. Reviews, Google reviews, Facebook reviews. You can never have enough reviews. However, what I would say is instead of having reviews spread across a lot of different platforms, you're going to be best served to focus on one or two. So for example, if it's being Google reviews, it's a lot easier to obtain Google reviews. Now, years ago, you'd have to have a Gmail account associated with Google. But you got scan, you can get the QR code now that you can forward in an email and ask people to scan it and instantly leave you a review. Some of our estate agents or bigger companies will use things like Trustpilot and FIFO. But what I will say, and those of you may already know this, that they're quite expensive platforms. You could find yourself spending a few £100 a month just to utilise their platform, where that's money you could be using in other areas to actually generate you new business or new inquiries. So again, like I say, review sites, very, very powerful. But if I can pick one or two, Google reviews or Facebook, or one of the good ones that's independent and it's actually very reasonable is reviews.io. That's on the bottom. It's one that we use personally. It's an independent reviews website. It's very comparative to Trustpilot and FIFO. It just doesn't cost you the earth. Again, people finding these reviews when they're searching for your company and things like that, these review pages will appear in the index. So again, your footprint's becoming bigger. It stops people jumping onto the back of your brand name. And again, it just gives you more opportunity of being found and people seeing good positive stuff about you and your business. So yeah, that's really talking about the reviews website, which is pretty obvious. And then the last one, which I'm going to touch on, is the online directory. It's just the second one from the left here. If I'm honest, these are a bit old hat now, but they are still pretty important from an SEO point of view. So these websites here that are listed, these are free directories. You can go onto these directories, and a bit like Google Maps, you can list your business. Put your name, address, contact details, then drop a link to your website, and that link actually acts as a referral or like a recommendation in Google's eyes. So that link will help you boost your SEO. Now, what I will say is these companies like Yale, obviously we know they've come from the big yellow book, and they now do the online directory. A lot of companies still use these for digital marketing, but they're just not quite there yet. They're not adapted enough. They charge quite a lot of money. They don't really deliver the value. However, they are still good to have your business listed on. So I'd always recommend looking at the online directories, listing your company on there. These four in particular are very good because they give you very good, strong backlinks to your website that help improve your website's SEO and rankings. A little caveat to online directories is when you do list your business on this, you will get a few sales calls from these directories offering you their premium packages and, you know, a couple of £100 a month and promising you'll be the busiest company in the world. I'm being honest. I'll always give honest, open advice. It doesn't work. Like, just save your money. Just say you're more than happy with the free listing for now, and you'll come back to it in the future. But very, very beneficial. Again, it's just Google seeing your company name, your company address listed in another place, which will boost your website's trust and authority and ultimately improve your SEO. So yeah, that's everything really in the list. What we want to do now is I'll go into the search engines because ultimately we logged on today to talk about the secrets of SEO, and I'm going to go through and give you a few tips on how you can do that. But essentially, these areas that I've covered before do fall in or will directly or indirectly impact your website's SEO performance, and revisiting these or visiting these for the first time will have a positive impact as you wish. Search engines, last but not least. So obviously there's been quite a few search engines over the years, but we all know that Google is the one that we want. Basically, we want our business to be listed as highly as possible on Google, and Bing and Yahoo, but ultimately, as we know, Google gets around 93% of all search traffic in the UK. However, the rest of it is searched between, or is shared between things like Bing and Yahoo and a couple of other smaller ones. But you know, what's interesting is we all really focus on Google. And like I was saying about the maps listings, you've probably all got Google Maps listings, but probably a lot of you haven't got Bing's Maps listings. What's interesting about that is a lot of companies now, like even the NHS and some big facilities companies and other similar companies, they're only allowed to use Microsoft products because they've adopted the Microsoft platform completely. What that means is because they're only allowed to use Microsoft products, they're actually searching on Bing. So while we think, there's only 6-7% traffic on Bing, there's actually some really good business thread. And the advantages of Bing at the moment is it's a lot easier to rank your website on there, and a lot quicker. Also, if you do any paid advertising like PPC or Google AdWords, you'll find Bing's equivalent to be a lot more cost effective and give a lot more value to your business. So as a company that works with over 100 businesses, we've seen some really good inquiries coming through Bing for our clients, especially if you're B2B. So I suppose my advice here is don't ignore Bing. Just don't think, we'll hyper focus on Google, but there's lots of quick wins to be had by making sure you're listed on Bing and the other search engines as well. So I think really what I'll do is I'm going to go through and give you some tips now and just talk about what you can just do yourself to improve your SEO. So one of the first things, and I'm not sure, again, apologies if you already do this, but Bing, Google and everyone else, they have these things called search consoles. So what you do is you go in, you register. It's a bit like Google Analytics, it's the equivalent of that, but you submit your website into the search console for each of those search engines. And this tells Google, look, here's my website. Instead of waiting for Google or Bing to find your website naturally, you're telling Google, look, we're here. This is what we do. Come and have a look at our website, please. And, tell us what you think of it, so to speak. That will speed up the process that your website gets into Google and Bing consideration. What it's also good for is a search console is like a health center. It will tell you if there's any particular issues with your website that Google or Bing has, like for example, your images might be too large in file format and won't load on mobile devices. They'll tell you this. So instead of having to potentially talk to a so-called expert like myself and someone, there's lots of information that you could obtain yourself if you just know where to look. So like I say, yeah, Search Console, submit your website, encourage Google, Bing to come and visit your website regularly. Also have a little look in there. It'll tell you if you've got broken pages, broken links, or your images are too large for mobile, and just start methodically working through these, or with whether you can do them yourself or whether you have a web developer that will do them for you. But just ticking all these boxes will see you progressively move forward in the search engines. So point number 2, make sure your website loads quickly. Again, we was talking about this, or I just touched on this in the search console area, but there's independent tools you can use, and you want to make sure your website loads quickly on both desktops or laptops. as well as mobile devices. If I'm honest, mobiles are probably more important than desktop and laptops now, because Google and Bing will consider your mobile performance before your desktop performance. So this URL here, just simply pagespeed.web.dev, you can literally just go onto that link, put your website address in there, and it will tell you how your website performs on mobile, and it'll tell you how your website performs on desktops. And if there are any issues, it will even give you a lovely list telling you what the issues are. So again, working through that and making sure this is all done as quickly will again encourage Google to rank your website a lot higher. This is a little bit more where we get into, like, sort of, without being technical, we start getting to what we can all physically do. And essentially point 3 here talks about create interesting and unique content about what you do. Essentially what it's saying is, you know, we're all experts in our field, or, you know, we've been in our field, we've got knowledge, industry. We need to be sharing that with Google. So what that means is, you know, if it's a guide on what we do, like we do quite a lot of this ourselves, as you'd expect. We do these webinars, but we'll publish guides, and we'll share information on how to do this, because Google then likes to see your website as an information resource. And when people are searching for information about what you provide or what you do or the products you sell, Google will look at this content and go, actually, you know what, they might be looking to buy this product or service. This company's or this business has been here for quite a while, but also in addition, it's got all this great content about that particular service. I believe this will be a good user experience. So Google will promote your content and ultimately your website and drive more traffic through. Again, what I would say is take yourself out of our own. It's very easy for us to be sucked in our own businesses and think about what's relevant for us, but have a think about your most recent clients or your last 10, 15, 5 clients, and what did they ask you? What was the specific questions they had? You know, and go and answer these, because you'll find there's normally quite a common thread. We see it in ours, you know, and we try to write for those people and create content for those people. So yeah, there you go. Creating interesting and unique content about you, what you do, will always be well received and see your website ranking higher. Answering questions your audience are asking. Now, what I would suggest, if there's keywords that you want to rank for, go and search those keywords on Google, look at page 1's results, and then you'll see further down, people who search for this also ask, and you'll see a list of questions relating to that search phrase. Google's telling you there what people want to know about what you do or what you're searching. Quite simply, have a look at those answers. Have a look at those answers. Think, I could actually provide a much more comprehensive answer, or an answer of better value to our clients or potential clients. Go and write content to answer those questions. Google's telling you what people want to see. And then what you can do is you can wrap those questions in schema. Schema gets a little bit more technical, and if anyone's got any questions on that, we can share. I can share links on how you can wrap that in schema. But you then will appear in those questions at some point if your question is deemed good enough by Google. So what happens is you're not even doing SEO there. You're just literally, Google's taking your content, favouring it, and putting you at the very top of the search engines, because those questions will typically come in above the organic results. So yeah, there's a little bit of homework for everyone's quite a bit of homework actually thinking about this, but go and have a look. Run the searches that you want to see yourself on page 1 for, and look what questions Google's telling you people are asking, and go and answer those in your content and get it published on your website. Okay, so, and then just finally, one of the most important things which a lot of people don't do, and it always fascinates me, have a look at your competitors, and if they're ranking well, ask yourself, what are they doing that we aren't? You know, do they have more pages of information across their website? Are they writing blogs regularly, or do their service pages have a lot more content about the particular service? And maybe if it's a service you provide, they're breaking down the steps, what to expect from making an inquiry or when someone visits, or whatever the process be. And there you go. Yeah, do they break down their services in more detail than us? I can't stress enough how important it is. Be honest, I do it all the time. We do it with our clients. We'll ask who their competition is, and they go, oh, so-and-so always gets all the clients, or, you know, and we'll open up, we'll go, right, okay, so look, this is your website. Your website's got approximately 20 pages on it, which are all very on point, very service driven. This particular client has over 100 pages. They're writing guides on how to do this, or they're writing more detail about when they visit. This is what you can expect from their service, where we're being very on point. You know, we all know this now. We've followed it. Google loves content. But yeah, have a look. You'll learn so much, and look at it and go, actually, yeah, I can now see what they're doing, you know, on their local pages for their local business stuff. they're writing about the area. They're making what they're doing is they're tweaking, or they're pricking Google's interest by mentioning the area and mentioning the service. So again, never be scared. So have a look at the competition, open up your own website, look at your equivalent pages and go, right, how do we compare? You know, are they doing it better? And you'll be amazed what you'll learn. And you'll quite quickly pick up a few little tricks and a few little things you can do yourself that will improve how your website ranks. So let's just move on to the next slide. So yeah, basically here we go. So this slide here is essentially just to sum up what the benefits of, you know, building your digital footprint can do for you. So building your digital footprint allows you to create an online identity for your business, which people can interact, allowing them to learn more about what you do and gaining their trust. The more valuable the content people can find out about your brand, the more trustworthy you become. So in summary, it was just like I say, in all these different areas that we're spoken about, if we go away and we just go and spend a bit of time populating and making sure they're in the best possible way, they could be in the information correct and factual, you'll find that they will all inadvertently push up your SEO. It will build trust in your brand in Google's eyes, and it will also build trust from an online searcher's point of view if they're able to find you in different areas. And that's, I believe, so we're just saying here, if anyone has got any questions or if anyone would like to have a free SEO strategy review, by all means, get in touch with myself. It's actually my marketing director's email address there, laura@fscdigital.com, but my email is danny.hall. But we'll send that all out to you anyway. And then finally, questions, if anyone has any. Shall I stop sharing this for now? That might be okay on the question front.
I think you're all right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
sorry, go on, Danny. Go on, Danny.
No, I was just going to say some of the common ones that I get asked. I'm not sure. Thanks, Liam. Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone, but one of the things I get asked, it might be something that a few people, AI with SEO. You know, everyone's getting into creating content using AI now. And it's great because it's given us the ability to produce a lot of content quite quickly. Just from an SEO perspective, one thing I'll say, it's better than no content, but you can't be that unique personal content. So what I would say, time's always an issue for us business owners, and to write a lot of content can be time. But if you are using AI to write content, what I would suggest is then taking it and making it unique. It's great for doing the research and maybe giving you the foundations for content, but maybe just spend a bit of time putting it into your own tone of voice and putting your own nuances and little bits of snippets in there.
Brilliant. No, thank you, Danny. That's been great. What I'll do, so if anybody does have any questions, I mean, I'll send the slides out to everybody. So either contact Danny and his team directly, or if you come through to us, then we can always direct you through and put you in contact with Danny and his team. Yeah, so I'd just like to thank you for coming along, Danny, and sharing your knowledge with us. Been really informative today and really good, really useful stuff.
No problem. Thanks everyone for listening. And like I say, if anyone's ever got any questions or anything, by all means, feel free to get in touch. I'll let you
Brilliant.
carry on.
Lovely.
Cheers.
Thank you then. Take care.